prompted me to turn my van into a pottery studio is that, well, I'm not going on any trips right now. It's January, you know? And I live currently in a studio apartment that is less than 400 square feet. So I have no room for ceramic stuff. You also don't want to live in the same space that you're doing ceramics because of the silica dust. So I was thinking about my options. I was like, and I saw my van out in the parking lot. And was like, I'm not using that right now. And I was thinking about it, and it kind of has everything that I need to do pottery in here. I have outlets, I have electricity through the solar panels, I have the top ventilation fan, I have windows I can open. I'm using my bed right now as like my wear board. It just has cardboard on it right now. I do need to get some like wooden sheets, wooden plyboard, so it stays a little bit flatter, but it's just kind of what I had right now that I'm making work. I just wrapped the bed in like a painting drop cloth to protect it from any dust or anything like that, since I'm setting things on it, and then it's just like easy to wipe down as well. I have a sink in here that functions. It's just connected to a bucket system, so I can easily like filter the clay and the water out through that already. It's already set up. And then I have a counter space. I have my bench here. Really have the space to be able to create without having to go super far. I have like room to like keep like my cleaning supplies, and I can stand straight up in here. So it's cool. Like for some people who are taller, you might not be able to do this, but as being a 5'1" person, I can stand up in here perfectly, and it's also free. I do have some things that I need to work on for the van anyways before I do travel again, which probably, like I said, isn't going to be until spring. It's just title and registration. It's actually in the best working condition it's ever been. I do have like a gas line when I fill it up that has a leak in it, so some gas comes out, so I have to get that fixed as well. But other than that, the check engine light hasn't been on in a really long time, and that's awesome. It still has really under 100,000 miles on it. I don't even think it's at 90 yet. So it's still in pretty good working order. I had to brainstorm about some things to make working in here practical, especially in January. One thing that I got that is actually going right here, and I have it pointed at me, is this little heater. If you've watched my videos before, my van has a very limited, so it converts the DC energy into AC, but the AC inverter that I have only goes up to 600 watts of continuous power, max 1200 to start. So that's kind of low. Heaters and like if you watch my videos before, hot plates and things like that typically are over 1,000 watts drawing continuously. So before, when I've tried to use heaters, space heaters, and hot plates and things like that, yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work. And then I was left with no food, no heat, and sucked really bad. So I just discovered that my car can power this mini fridge here, but it cannot handle this hot pot here. It is raining. I've had a drink, and everything I have to eat requires food other than peanut butter and bread and yogurt. Yes, you can hear the beeping. That is the breaker starting and stopping as the hot pot desperately tries to cook my noodles. But I found this heater here. Like I said, it's only 200 watts. I got it on Amazon. I don't love shopping on Amazon, but I really needed to find something specific. Wasn't sure where else I was going to be able to find something like this. It was only like 20 bucks too. Works great. Fantastic. I'm also really excited to use this for camping in the future because I can just plug it in here. It doesn't draw too much power. And yeah, I can go. I can keep warm. It's not like the most powerful one, but if you have it pointed at you, you're pretty good, you know? What else was I gonna say? Okay, silica dust. So one of the big reasons why you don't want to be living So I'm very new to pottery. Let me backtrack. I'm very new to pottery. But since I took that class, I've been in that studio a lot. I've been watching just hours and hours and hours and hours of videos about pottery. I've been obsessed. I've watched all the seasons of The Great Pottery Throwdown on HBO, and just been doing as much as I can to learn and absorb and just be able to really get into it. I have dreams about it. Like, I've been really obsessed. Really obsessed lately. Yeah. So, one thing that I learned that's a really big issue is silica dust. This is one of the reasons why I kind of am straying away from the community studio as well, is it's not kept as clean as I feel like it should be. Silica is in dirt, it's in glass, it's in sand, it's in a lot of things that make up the earth. But in high concentrations over like decades, it can lead to this disease called silicosis. So it's potentially can cause a lot of harm to your body. That's why you don't want to be living where, like in my less than 400 square foot studio, I wouldn't want to be doing projects in there and dust is collecting on my walls and my bed and my things that like I'm going to be living and breathing in constantly. I also just don't have the room for it. Yeah, and like I said, that studio that I was going to is pretty dusty. Which stresses me out now that I know a little bit more about it. But in my van, it was already set up this way, so I didn't really have to configure it, is I have a top fan. And I can set it to blow air out. So it acts as sort of like a hood for the air in here. And then I can also crack one of my windows in the summer. When it's warmer, I can leave all the doors open and get a lot of air coming through here. But right now, I feel pretty safe with the airflow kind of getting the dust out of here. I also got this little portable HEPA air filter. It's really small. I'm sure it does help a little bit. So, and I don't have to plug it into anything since it's rechargeable. I just keep it on full blast while I'm in here. I also, for safety purposes, you have to clean everything off after you use anything in here. I have my little Swiffer to mop the floor real quick. I put a plastic paint sheet over the bed so that it would prevent dust from collecting on the bed, especially since this is where I'm storing like things to dry. And it's just easy to wipe off. And then if I do go camping, all of this stuff is really easy for me to just put away. Like, I don't really have to spend a lot of time configuring things. I keep this box in here so I can just quickly package my things that might fly around while I'm driving in here, so they could just have a really easy spot that's safe and secure that I can take down or put inside or whatever. My clay over there, since I'm in Colorado now, it gets very cold at night. I have it wrapped up in some old like curtains to keep it from freezing at night. But yeah, it just seems really, it's cozy in here. And I have limo tint on all my windows, so when I'm working in here during the day, no one can see in here. So I have a lot of privacy, but I can still see outside, so it doesn't feel so like claustrophobic in here. We'll see. I'm kind of doing this on a budget. Didn't have a lot of money. I did order a throwing wheel. That's the biggest investment that I did spend money on. That is something that is like really expensive. If you know, you know. The cheap budget one I got was $830. It's a Shimpo like light, so you're able to like move it kind of. If I move it, it's 50 pounds. It also is only 100 watts DC converted to like 350 something AC, so it should theoretically work in the van. I don't think I'm going to be able to run it and have the heater going at the same time. We'll see. I hope I can. My mugs that I made yesterday did get a little AC overnight, so I'm probably going to have to keep those warm too. Figure out a way to keep those from freezing. A lot of my things are just kind of makeshift right now. Like, even these are my like what are they called? It's totally escaping my mind right now, but you put them so that your slabs that you roll out don't get too thin. So these are just cardboard that I taped together. Banding wheels, for whatever reason, are like $100 for just like a piece of metal that spins. Like, I got this cake stand that essentially does like the same thing at Walmart for $11. I want to get a metal cake stand that looks more like a banding wheel. Those are only $30. So yeah, I just wanted to show what I've been doing and maybe create some inspiration for some people who aren't using their vans right now or extra space and they want to do something with it. You can be really creative with it. I know a lot of people for pottery like use a garage or like a shed outside, but if you have a van and it has everything that you need already in it, use it. I'm paying for the van, might as well use it, even when I'm not traveling.